J9 helps you with lines of symmetry. You get 3 types of questions for lines of symmetry or mirror lines, and some of them are based around geometric shapes like squares and rectangles and triangles. Some are based around pictures and some are based around words and letters. If we look at geometric shapes, the best thing to do is to start by talking about regular shapes, where all of the lines are the same length and all the internal angles are the same. So here we have got a heptagon, and it's got one line going down the middle here, then a second one going here, then a third one here, fourth one there, fifth one, and sixth one, and seventh one. So that one would have 7 lines of symmetry altogether. In fact, any regular shape, as in a shape that's got all of its lengths and internal angles the same, you will find that the number of lines of symmetry is the same as the number of sides. So an equilateral triangle's got 3, and a square's got 4, a regular hexagon's got 6, and a regular dodecagon has 12. When you come to irregular shapes, it's not so easy. You have to consider each one separately. So an isosceles triangle has got 1 down the middle. A rectangle has got 2. Be careful, these are not lines of symmetry going diagonally. Okay, don't get fooled by that, there are only 2. Parallelogram has none. And then a circle would have infinite number of lines of symmetry, so you could keep on putting in all of those lines of symmetry across the middle and it would be infinity as your answer there. Sometimes you get shapes that are not normal geometric shapes, like this H shape here, and if you were asked to put your lines of symmetry on this one, you would have 1 down the middle, a vertical one, and you would have 1 horizontal one going across the middle as well. Sometimes they give you shapes which are slightly misaligned, so my advice for that one would be is rotate the shape until you notice that you've got a line of symmetry. So for this one, if we rotate it like this, you can then realise that your line of symmetry is actually down the middle and going across. It's much easier to spot like that than it was when it was all lopsided. Next we talk about other types of shapes. So these are other shapes that can come up. I'll just pick a few randomly and show you where the lines of symmetry would go. So the one that looks a bit like a fish, we would have a line going through the middle. This is another lopsided one in the middle here, where we'd have a line of symmetry going down the middle. I haven't put that one in particularly well. Let me try that one again. Okay, and again. It takes more than one go sometimes. So our line of symmetry would be roughly there. So each one of those has only got 1 line. If we look at the double-ended arrow, for that particular one, you'd have 1 down the middle and 1 going across. Sorry, it's not overly accurately drawn in. Sometimes they put a proper picture, like a picture of a sailing boat, and then you'd have 1 there to show its reflection in the water. So play around with those shapes and get used to where those lines of symmetries go. Lines of symmetry go. When we talk about letters, you get some letters that have a vertical line of symmetry, like the letter A. You've got some that have a horizontal line of symmetry, like the letter D. Sometimes you get letters that have both. So a H would have a line down the middle and a line across. And sometimes you get letters like the G that has no line of symmetry at all. Sometimes they get put into words. So if you look at the word Ohio, that would have 1 line of symmetry that basically goes right across the middle of the shape. And to prove that, you can actually write the word out, copying those letters very carefully, and then literally fold it across the fold line. Sometimes you get words that have got a vertical line of symmetry, sometimes a horizontal line. So looking at the horizontal ones, bib has a horizontal one. And so does oho, even though it's not a real word, and so does odd, and so does boo. Mom has a vertical line of symmetry. Sometimes you will notice that there are some shapes that have both. For example, the oho word also has a vertical one going down the middle. Apologies that my lines are not exactly in the right place. It's quite tricky to put them in the right place on an iPad. So that is lines of symmetry. I hope that helps you with those particular questions.